All rise. Commissioner Arner, if you may lead us in the moment of silence, prayer, and pledge.
Father, we seek your wisdom daily. Be with us in making decisions that affect the lives and future of our families and communities. We pray that all commute clearly, truthfully, and calmly with each other and the public. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of preparing accurate written minutes. Recordings are overwritten following approval of the minutes, eliminating all unofficial records of these proceedings. Your first item is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held April 18th, 2024.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
I will be abstaining as I was absent.
Yes.
This is one meeting. Yeah, forget's dusty.
You just don't let me alone. Are there any guests here concerning county business? Hearing none.
The report of executive sessions held.
There was one on Tuesday the 23rd at 8:45 a.m. and it was to discuss personnel.
Department reports, the budget transfers for 2023-2024.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Supplemental appropriations.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Expenditures, approval of payroll check numbers 75821 through 75840 and direct deposit check numbers 6063850 through 6064283 for the payroll paid through the payroll fund checking account for all county funds totaling $675,280.63. This is the payroll dated April 19th, 2024.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 242992 through 243116 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $1,647,356.68.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The treasurer's report?
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The personnel report for county departments.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
I don't necessarily agree with one area, but in keeping the county moving forward and following the recommendation of the departmental head, I'll say yes.
The acknowledgements for courts and row offices.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Area Agency on Aging for approval and execution. The 4-year plan of the Carbon County Area Agency on Aging from October 1, 2024 through September 30th, 2028, developed to facilitate long-range needs and is required to be submitted to the state to ensure continued federal funding.
Move for the approval.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The bid award, CDBG Packer Township for approval. A recommendation was received from the Director of Planning and Development to award the contract for the Community Development Block Grant Project number 82698 for Packer Township fiscal year 2021 culvert replacement Oker Mill Road to Lehigh Asphalt Paving and Construction of Tamako, Pennsylvania, at their bid price of $236,989.70. This is a non-competitive method of procurement approved by the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development due to the township declaring a state of emergency for the collapsed culvert.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Correctional Facility for approval and execution. Proposal received from Vistacom of Allentown, Pennsylvania to purchase 3 Polycom video systems for the correctional facility at a total cost of $16,334.59, including a 4-year service agreement at a cost of $2,275.47. The total cost is $18,610.06, which would be funded by the Correctional Facilities COVID Relief Grant under CoStar's contract number 034E22-156.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The District Attorney for approval and execution. Proposal received from Vistacom of Allentown, Pennsylvania to purchase a Polycom video system for the District Attorney's Office at a cost of $6,855.39 to include a 4-year service agreement at a cost of $2,275.47 for a total cost of $9,130.86, which would be funded by the Correctional Facilities COVID Relief Grant under CoStar's contract number 034E22-156.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Information Technology for approval and execution, a 3-year service agreement with Penteledata for broadband internet services for the Coroner's Office located at 211 North 12th Street, Lehigh, Pennsylvania, commencing April 10th, 2024, at a monthly reoccurring fee of $151.95.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Human Services for acceptance, the fiscal year 2023-2024 State Food Purchase Program, 3rd quarter expense and data report, as submitted by Shepherd House Incorporated to the Department of Agriculture.
Motion accept.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Planning and Development for ratification, Community Development Block Grant Contract number 88719 for fiscal year 2023 in the amount of $359. Sorry about that. Blah.
I forget one item and I have to.
Sorry, excuse me, for activity period of March 15th, 2024 through March 14th, 2028, listing the Director of the Carbon County Planning and Development as the chief elected official as authorized signatories on the contract and program invoices for CDBG and/or CDBG competitive programs, along with Federal Funding Accountability and Transparency Act subrecipient data sheet. The first item is to ratify execution of the forms.
Motion to ratify.
approve.
Oh, go ahead. Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The next item is to adopt the resolution authorizing the signatories.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Worker Protection and Investment Certification for approval and execution. Executive Order number 2021-6, Worker Protection and Investment Certification Form as required by the Community Development Block Grant. Delegation of Signing Authority, contract number 88719.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
A purchase agreement for approval and execution, agreement with JPJ Associates of Allentown, Pennsylvania, to purchase one Aurora ×2 starter legal size filing unit at a cost of $3,743.69, and 4 ×2 adder legal size units at a cost of $3,392.10 for a total cost of $13,568.40 for a total cost of $19,604.59, including installation and delivery under Pennsylvania CoStar's contract 035 E23-194. This replaces previous agenda item number 24075, which was approved February 22nd, 2024.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Worker Protection Investment Certification for approval and execution, Executive Order of 2021-6, Worker Protection and Investment Certification Form, as required for the Act 101, Section 903, Recycling Coordinator Grant Application for 2023.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Public Defender for approval and execution. Proposal received from Vistacom of Allentown, Pennsylvania to purchase a polycard system for the Public Defender's Office at a cost of $19,058.07, including a 4-year service agreement at a cost of $2,275.47, for a total of $21,333.54, which would be funded by the Correctional Facilities COVID Relief Grant, CoStar's contract number 034 E22-156.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
The Solicitor's Report?
Thank you. For the Area Agency on Aging, seeking a motion for approval and execution of an agreement with the PA Department of Aging and Carbon County Area Agency on Aging to administer a shared housing and resource exchange program to address the increasing need for affordable housing options for seniors and seniors with disabilities. The budget for the share program through Carbon County totals $87,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Next, seeking a motion for approval and execution of the banner request for the Bach and Handel Chorale, their spring concert at St. Joseph Church on May 18th, 2024. The banner to be displayed May 4th, 2024 to May 19th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
And lastly, for children and youth, seeking a motion for approval and execution of an agreement with Service Access and Management Incorporated of Reading, Pennsylvania, to extend the fiscal consulting services to the Carbon County Children and Youth Services Department for the term June 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2027. The cost for the term of June 1st, 2024 through June 30th of 2025 is $314,165, and the parties will reach a mutually acceptable fee prior to the beginning of a new fiscal year.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Mr. Sifranco?
Yes.
Nothing further for the Solicitor's Report.
Any further business? Commissioners' reports, Mr. Honor?
None at this time.
Mr. Notstein?
Yeah, just one item, a big thank you to, yesterday was the Administrative Assistants Day. And a big thank you to all our administrative, not only in this office, but to all administrative assistants for what they do for their supervisors and bosses, and it's greatly appreciated, and we are very thankful for everything you do to us that the public does not see and tries to keep us in line. That's a big job. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, in some cases.
Mr. Sifranco?
Just a few things, a little bit of update on Tent City. We had been down there, myself and Commissioner Notstein, and it should be noted that the number earlier in the year when we got here was around 24 to 30. As of the other day, we were down to 3. And what has happened with a lot of residents, a lot of those who had been staying down there, I shouldn't say residents because they're looking for a home, but those that were down there, is they have found family. Family has taken in. Some agencies have reached out and made contact, and they've been able to to find a place to stay. Others have moved on to private property where they're being allowed to stay or camp there off of not public property or other, but private property. So with that being said, obviously, that's a huge burden off the county, and it has been a lot of hard work from the homeless task force, from everyone who reached out down there, from the sheriff's department, the commissioner's office, everyone involved. And we're gonna continue to do that. There will be a date and time that we're going to begin cleaning up Tent City now and getting the garbage and debris that's out of there. As I had said, because of the safety of those performing that work, we will, that date will happen. And then we hope to officially say that that part of homeless has been addressed, not solved, but addressed at this time. And the homeless task force is really, Kathleen Lane has really stepped up to the plate and really has had collaborative was a great out. I can't speak highly enough of our county solicitor who gave an awesome presentation. And he did, he really explained where the county needs to be to protect all the residents from anything future. And we're gonna keep following that advice, but the cleanup is coming. We are awaiting some pricing as to how that would be done and what kind of dumpster we would need to get down there. And we may be looking to the community to help along there. Also on the opioid settlement, I know that's been a rather heavy topic in every county around the state of Pennsylvania. But on May 1st, myself, along with the Commissioner Arner, will be attending a seminar out in Blair County. There are other members of the county support staff that will be going to that. And hopefully we can come back to the county then, and from finding out around the state what else is being spent and where the money can be spent, we'll come back with some recommendations and that. But I know we have drug and alcohol attending members from there and everyone else. Commissioner Notstein, so you don't think he's lacking on his duties, he is going to a Northeast PA, I think, NEPA
board
meeting. So while Rocky and I are out finding drug money, he's going to go find us money to fix those bridges.
You think I want to spend a couple hours in the car with him?
The other one is if you're looking at the train station, you will note sidewalks are being torn out and liabilities being relieved. Once again, I thank this safety committee and all that they did there. I know Commissioner Arner had mentioned that, but you see that work getting done. That is being paid through a grant, and we will be reallocating. We're already looking at extending lighting up through the county parking lot. We're waiting on some prices on that. Election day, everything went well. We had a very low voter turnout. There were no major issues with the exception of some paper jams here and there, some ballots that get stuck in some machines, kind of things. We did have someone from Dominion that was here the entire day, was very helpful, answer any questions, and we got the results out. I think we were all done by 9:15, Commissioner? On 9:15.
Yeah.
And the other one, and I know I'll answer that question now because I'm sure it's on your mind. I know Commissioner Arner would like to make some comments on it. He leaned over here, but I know you've all noticed the financial consulting contract with the, starting to read you. Obviously, you were here last week. Unfortunately, I couldn't be here as a funeral, but you know there's been some financial issues that need to be resolved. The county continues to front money to keep children and youth moving, and that at times has created a serious cash flow here. I'm not blaming children and youth for all of that, so it's everybody together, so don't take it that way. But as the commissioner sat, as we said at the beginning of the year, and looked at ways that we can save money, bring money in, benefit the taxpayers, and not have to, this was something that we looked long and hard at over the last 4 months here, did a lot of research. I know it was looked at even prior to that, but we have decided that it is best that we come in with a consulting company, or actually to handle the fiscal responsibility of children and youth, and that'll take some of the burden off of that office. I know everyone's going to say, is there going to be loss of jobs? And the answer to that question is no, because part of that has been negotiated. I can't get into all of that right now because that'll be discussed after this vote. But they will all be, the one that is left down there is obviously going to be offered a position with this new consulting firm.
As we mentioned last week, a lot of it is because of turnover in the training of personnel, and you know, it takes a while to learn that position, and if you don't have the reports filed on time, it delays the reimbursements, and there's mistakes made, and you don't have people to train. So, you You know, like, the commissioner said, we've been looking at it probably for what, 3 years, Rocky? Yeah, or better, and talking to Sam every time we see him at a conference and that, and, you know, I think we should have done it sooner probably, but, we're finally moving forward.
And I would like to say, this is in no way a reflection upon those who are doing the job. Please don't take it that way. It is just a way for the county to get their finances in better order, help children and youth, and get a service for a cost that is going to be a savings to the county taxpayers.
Yeah, and I think if you look at it, it looks like an awful lot of money, and it's in our budget, like they present the budget to the state and it's approved. And we have it approved for 4 people and never had 4 people on staff. So if you look at it, like Mike said, it's really not costing us anymore, but it's hard getting somebody in a financial department. Like I said, when you look at boroughs, townships, wherever it is, a financial person that's in any one of them boroughs are $80,000 to $100,000. You can't compete with that. And we're losing money all the time, and it's not because of the staff is not trying to do it, it's just we're understaffed, and we've been doing that every year. We're transferring $1 million here and $1 million there, and that's not helping the taxpayer. I mean, we get behind, and this year we were a little bit fortunate, we took some out of our parking that we had extra money in there, but when you got a loan money, now we're paying interest on top of that. So if you look at what it costs for, I mean, look what it costs to, now imagine what a whole department is. I think the whole department is, I forget how many millions of dollars is it, but this is only like, for 4 people, it's $314,000, you know?
Up to
And,
10 million now. with
Yeah,
all the
yeah, it's way
positions
up.
were filled
And-
just for children and youth.
and it really increased over, since I've been here. I think it was like $6 million. And now it's up to 12 because there's a lot of requirements you have. Like, I think we were limping along with a solicitor, then they had to have their own solicitor, and it was like, just kept adding positions. And you really don't, I mean, I can't say the state doesn't help us out on it, because when Jill would put the budget in, we would usually get approved for everything that we needed. But it's like, we got approved for 4 positions here in fiscal, and we've been limping around with 2 of them for 3 years, and that's not, you can't do like that. I mean, and the ones that are working there are stressed out. And with this Sam Inc. here, they have a staff that goes way beyond. They're working in other counties. I mean, I think there are 4 or 5 different counties, and I think that's something we were debating, you know, do we wanna lose employees? But we're really not losing employees if we don't have them. You know, and I think that was one of the biggest things, I think, that Wayne and I were debating about. You don't wanna get rid of people, but what winds up happening, I think when they're gonna hire, they're gonna take care of the people with benefits, and they're almost gonna be like our people, they're gonna be there. It's just that, you know, it's.
Different employer, that's all.
Yeah, it's just a little bit different, and with us, if we would hire somebody quits, we have nowhere to dip into. They have a big network that they could send somebody here, or either direct some of that, you know, to the other departments and stuff and do our work, and that's, I said, it's probably one of the worst things that I think we look at, that we're gonna lose employees, but I don't think we're losing employees in that department every year. You know, we bring them in, and I said, it's a shame that we can't pay them what they should be, but that's the way it is with government. Now with a contracted service, you can do it, you know, and it's not gonna affect our budget, but the only thing that we're gonna have to do is, like on the reporting, it would have to go to contracted service now instead of the employee, so they'll have to go to the state and get our budget revised, that it's gonna be more in the contracted services than what is for our employees. So otherwise than that, it's just switching the money somewhere.
Right, and so, you know, I think it's 80%, am I correct? 80% is refundable or reimbursable through the state. So that's been it is a fiscal decision here that has to be made, and that's it, because cash flow becomes a serious issue here, especially as we wait for a taxpayer and when we're trying to pay all these bills. It's not easy, so we need to find a way to cut down those bills. Anything further? I don't have anything under my report. Anything further? Into that. Questions? Where did we start last week? In the back with the Eagles? Any questions from TV 13?
Just talking about the agreement for the video with the public defender, DA, and the correctional facility, what would that video be used for?
Well, we won't be traveling back and forth to the prison all the time, it'll be easier. It'll still have to have escorts by the corrections officers to the video conferencing. The district, the public defender or district attorney will not have to go to the prison all the time to interview people, so that's time on the road that's wasted, you know, and mileage in the vehicles, et cetera, so, yeah, it's, there's a cost, but I think there's a big cost saving as well, just in travel time alone and the ability to interview, the public defender's office, they're down one or two staff members like everyone else, and, they don't have time to go back and forth, they don't have detectives, like the DA's office has, they have to do their own investigations and interviews, so, yeah, it's gonna be, long-term, I think it's a savings.
And even like with this grant, this is the grant that we, like for the cleaning of the ductwork and I think our grant was, probably about 2 weeks ago now, we were eligible for $577,000. And, as of, I think last week, we were up to maybe in the high 40s. And we've been, with the district attorney, that was added on to it. So we're allowed to keep on adding on to this before we submit it. But we're actually at $505,927, and we're gonna keep digging to try to get more of that money as much as we can. But I think probably next week we'll probably be submitting it. And on Monday, we're doing the walkthrough for the ductwork cleaning to make sure that's all right. So, and like I said, Paul Levy and Val in our office here have been doing a great job, and it keeps, we're just about there. So, hopefully all these add-ons and, we just keep going. We added more supplies, that we need at the prison, which is always an ongoing thing. So, like I said, I can't say enough for Paul and Val, what they've been doing.
So this video kind of helps, you know, the DA and the public defender between the you know, the trials and that. They don't
Well,
always have to do
I
that.
think it even helps a lot, because if they're doing things, what they can do on the video, even like transporting, you know, they have to have the sheriff transport somebody, you're saving money there, you're saving time. I mean, it's like, overall, it's like a win-win for, I think, all our court systems, for everybody. I mean, it's like, I think Paul and them would go up there a couple times a week sometimes, now they don't have to do that. They can, you know, go back and forth to each other, and I think like even now, I think Bob was in the department, so, I mean, he could probably explain a little bit better than we can.
Yeah, sometimes, just for example, with pretrial conferences, you might have 150 plus of those conferences, and you're trying to put together plea deals, and some of these defendants that might be incarcerated are representing themselves. So sometimes the ADA would have to go there in the middle of the day, several trips going back and forth. This is going to save a lot of time, not only for the public defender and for the district attorney, but for the sheriff's office as well. So it's really going to streamline the whole system.
Even helps in the courts when they can video conference at times when
Yes.
this, attorneys from outside the area have a great travel distance from sometimes out of state, et cetera. And I know the courts don't like to do it, but even transporting prisoners from different areas, state prisons and everything for court gets rather expensive, but they have that right, they can refuse it. And to them, it's get out of jail for a few hours and get a road trip, you know, before they have to return. But it's a burden on the sheriff's department, wear and tear of the vehicles, and big expense to the county. But
Yeah, the recovery in man hours is going to make it more than worth the cost.
Is this all funded through a grant, or are you guys fitting?
No,
something?
it's through the grant, it's that grant that we got for that 500, well, it's
Yeah.
up to 577,000, I think it was, but we're up over 500 already.
So nothing comes out of your budget in
No,
this?
no, this is
eventually,
not. Well, we have to pay for it up front, but they're gonna have it, we have a deadline for June 30th to have everything completed, and we have to pay for everything. And then when we submit that, they'll give the money back, but The way I understand this grant is a COVID grant that was given to the state, and it has to go back to the federal government within a month or two. So we should have our money, I would think, within probably the first or second week of August, I would hope by then.
But there's gonna be reoccurring costs eventually. This is a 4-year agreement, service agreement.
Yeah.
Which was over 2,400. Total was about $6,800 service agreements in that agreement, and that runs out in 4 years, so in 4 years we'll have to pay that, but it's still, the cost savings is still gonna far outweigh what that cost is.
That's all I have, thank you.
Amy, Times News.
With regards to the Packer Township CDBG, the non-competitive method of procurement, can you explain a little bit about that?
Great question. You know you're doing good when you gotta go right to the solicitor, right?
Yeah, wow, this could take a while. Sorry, just, it's just a carve out for this, this particular type of, agreement that, it's not required to be, submitted to competitive, bidding, just because of the nature of the contract. I couldn't give you a chapter and verse right now. If you wanted to contact me, I could probably give you
Okay,
more.
so I just was trying to,
Yeah.
so basically, they didn't have to bid because it was deemed a state of emergency? Or how does that work?
I don't recall exactly what the criteria was.
I
for
mean,
this one, but
I'm not
it's-
saying with this particular one, but sometimes there's only like, if you have something that's going out and maybe there's only one entity that can do that job, you know, I don't know if that falls into that
Yeah,
category,
it's-
you know, that it's like there's nobody, you know, there might not be other contractors that do work like
Yeah,
this.
that's probably what it was, a single
Yeah.
source,
Yeah.
contract.
Okay, thank
Cause we even run into stuff like that, even like with equipment. Like we might get a piece of equipment, I think even like the
Fire
island
alarm
scanners or, yeah,
systems, they're
it's like it's
proprietary,
a certain
built by
type
one.
of
Yeah.
work that's being done and nobody else does it.
Yeah.
And
Like
that
if
could
you
be
had-
the case for that, I don't know.
If
Yeah.
somebody installs a system, you know, somebody else can't service it and put the parts in, so that's a dilemma we run into.
Yeah, and in that case, the state does have to approve it for it to be exempted from the bidding process.
Okay, thank you, that's all I have then.
Wow. Thank you. Anything further? That concludes. Everyone have a good weekend. Enjoy. It's supposed to be nice, I think, Saturday, correct? Thank you.